Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Valerie. I love creating beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content. And today we are talking about my microblading experience. So a few weeks ago I had my eyebrows microbladed and I am absolutely thrilled with my results. And I know a lot of you had questions, so hopefully this will be helpful. I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you like seeing these kinds of videos of people testing beauty trends, because I'd love to do more of them. But enough of that, let's jump straight into it. So, like I said, a few weeks ago I got my eyebrows microbladed, and I was kind of nervous going into it because I had just never had any kind of real cosmetic procedure done before, especially one that is going to be semi-permanent. And especially when you start thinking about facial tattoos, my mind kind of goes to the eyebrow tattoos of the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's not exactly the look I was going for. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with microblading, it is a beauty technique where they use a semi-permanent tattoo to give you the illusion of fuller, more defined brows. Instead of using the traditional tattoo gun that penetrates into those deepest layers of the skin to distribute pigment where it ends up being permanent, they use a blade to distribute that pigment, and it only goes in the top couple layers of the skin, so that your brow tattoo fades within 1 to 3 years and ultimately gives a much more natural look. Also, instead of using a technique where they're giving you a thick, block-like, dense eyebrow, they actually use that blade to cut more hair-like strokes, so that it ends up looking much more natural and it doesn't have that same density and harshness. Your brows end up looking really defined but soft, natural, and the goal is to where if you were to go without makeup, people wouldn't necessarily know that you have your eyebrows filled in. It would just look like you have naturally very full, beautiful brows, and that is exactly what I wanted. I feel like I had pretty good eyebrows. I think anybody with this much hair is probably destined to have pretty decent eyebrows. I just noticed that the shape between my two eyebrows were quite different. We all know eyebrows are sisters, are not twins. Mine weren't even really sisters. Mine were like step-sisters that hated each other and moved to opposite sides of the country to avoid each other for forever. And I just wanted something that would make them look a little bit, not even like they loved each other, but less like they hated each other. They just hated each other a little bit less and resembled each other a little bit more. So that's really what I wanted. And I noticed that from about here over, my eyebrows were great. They were nice and thick and full, but the tail ends really just kind of fizzled out. They were really, really thin. They were quite a bit lighter than the rest of my brow. So if I was having a no makeup day, or I was just running to the gym or just running errands, I would kind of feel like it just looked like I had this portion of my eyebrows, like half my eyebrows were missing because the tail ends were so thin. So I was really interested in microblading because I just wanted a more defined brow. I wanted the tails to be a little bit more defined, and I just wanted the shape between my two eyebrows to resemble each other a bit more. So I decided to work with Aphrodite's Secret because I had seen a ton of really fantastic reviews. I had seen wonderful before and after photos, and after meeting with the staff, I just knew that this was the only place I'd want to have my microblading done. They really took the time to walk me through all of the steps and explain the procedure to me, what my recovery time was going to be looking like, what the expectations should be. I just really felt like I was putting my brows in the most capable and most talented hand, and the whole process was just absolutely phenomenal. So basically, the microblading process starts with kind of like an assessment where you're working with your esthetician and they're talking to you about what shape you want, the depth of color. You guys actually work together to pick a color that is good for you and is along the lines of what you want. And then they actually go in and they map your brow, so they actually fill in your eyebrows with a brow pencil to get that really defined shape and make sure that you're happy with what the shape is going to be. And then they went in with a liquid eyeliner and kind of dotted around the perimeter of your brow to give you a really, really defined shape. I looked completely insane, as I'm sure you can see from the photos, but that just makes sure that you really know what the shape is going to be. And then they put on a numbing gel on your brows, and they let you sit for like 15 minutes for that numbing gel to become really, really active, because you are getting essentially a tattoo. So that numbing gel really, really helps. It took away absolutely any pain. It was a completely painless experience. So after those 15 minutes or so, they have you like actually lay down on the bed, and then they just go in with their little tool, and you can kind of feel almost like a, I want to say scraping kind of feel, but it's not painful at all. But you can kind of just feel the tool like running along. And basically your esthetician is taking multiple shades to develop this really, really full, diffused, fluffy looking brow. Yeah, the whole process probably took about 40 to 45 minutes just to really make sure that everything was filled in. There were a couple times where I sat up, looked in the mirror, I asked for a little bit more definition here or a little more color there. At the end of those 45 minutes, I got to look in the mirror. I was completely happy with the shape and with the fullness of everything. And then they give you your little recovery pack that has your ointment and recovery instructions. And we watched an instructional video together just to answer any questions that I had in terms of the recovery. And then I went on my merry way. Initially the color was like quite dark, and also like my skin was red because I had just gotten the procedure. So the immediate photos weren't exactly a good depiction of what my ultimate results are going to be. But they told me within 2 to 3 weeks, my color is probably going to fade around 30% to get a much more natural color. And within those 2 weeks, my eyebrows would have completely healed. So there wouldn't be any more redness. There'd be no like scabs or puffiness or anything like that. So after those 2 weeks of using the recovery ointment, making sure to keep my brows pretty dry, my color faded, and this is where we are at now, and I'm super, super happy with them. This is actually the week that I was supposed to be going back for my 6-week touch-up, just to fill in any areas where the color faded a little bit too light and I want it darkened up, or if there are any areas that I want them to be more defined. But of course, because of the stay-at-home order, we canceled that appointment. I'll go get that taken care of when the stay-at-home order is lifted. But overall, I am still so happy with them. I have no brow product on right now, and it is just so nice to not have to fill in my eyebrows. Or if I'm just running errands, I know that like my brows are already looking really, really defined and really natural. They should last between 1 to 3 years. It kind of varies for everybody, but so happy with the results. Just saves me quite a bit of time, and it just makes me feel even more confident rocking a no makeup day with these defined brows. So I had a couple people on my Instagram ask me some questions that I'm just going to answer right now in regards to microblading. One question that I got quite a few times is if I will still have to tweeze or wax my brows now that I have them microbladed. And the answer is simply yes. It's just a semi-permanent tattoo. It doesn't inhibit your natural hair growth at all. Basically, microblading just enhances and defines the shape that you want for your brows. So for me personally, my eyebrows are, if I let them go wild, they go wild. They'll be out of control. So I'm still definitely going to have to go in and tweeze or wax those areas just to make sure to really maintain that shape. The microblading just enhanced the shape that I already wanted. Quite a few people asked if it hurt. With the numbing gel, I honestly did not feel anything. It was a completely painless experience, and I really didn't have any pain afterwards. You know, when I was applying my ointment and things like that for like the following weeks, absolutely pain-free. So yeah, completely painless beauty procedure. I would highly recommend. How long do the results typically last? This differs from person to person just based on your skin, the pigmentation in your skin, if you take decent care of them during the recovery process, making sure to use your recovery ointment, things like that. But the average person will see this semi-permanent tattoo lasting 1 to 3 years, which to me is totally worth it. I mean, 1 to 3 years of not filling in my eyebrows, sign me up. And then you can always just schedule a yearly touch-up for as many years as you want to maintain it. So I'll just get one touch-up a year, and I won't have to worry about filling in my brows for that entire year, which to me is so worth it because I usually spend so much time filling in my brows. So yeah, super, super worth it. 1 to 3 years on average. Can you still wear makeup on your brows? Yes. Once the healing process is completed, so like within 2 to 3 weeks, you can go back to using any kind of brow product. I asked for a really, really natural brow. I didn't want to look like I had brow product on every day, and so we went in with a very, very natural color. But there are still days where, I do a full glam look and I want a super snatched eyebrow. I want that super ombre effect. I want it to be really, really dramatic and dark, and then I'll go in with my brow product. But for instance, on just days like today where I'm just doing like a more natural makeup look, or on days where I don't want to wear makeup at all, I don't put on any brow product. Or if I do, it's usually just a clear brow gel just to kind of keep my hairs in place, because again, they'll go crazy otherwise. Do you think microblading is worth the cost? I have really thin eyebrows and I'm tired of filling in my eyebrows every day. Okay, for people that have thin eyebrows, or for instance, maybe one eyebrow is significantly shorter than the other, or you have a scar in your eyebrow and you're tired of filling it in every day, microblading is going to be a game changer. I am thrilled with my results, and like I said, I felt like I had fairly decent brows. I just wanted more symmetry, I wanted more definition. But for somebody who feels like they absolutely have to fill in their brows every day, microblading would be the greatest investment. It's just 2 appointments, your initial appointment and then your follow-up appointment, and then you could do 1 appointment a year to maintain. It's such a small little bit of time out of your year to have constantly perfect eyebrows. Worth it, girl. And with that, I think that about sums it up. I hope I answered all of your questions. Again, I am so happy with my results, and I am so glad that I picked Aphrodite's Secret to do my eyebrows. I'm going to leave all of their information down in the description box below. That way you can schedule your appointment with them if you're in the Michigan area. Make sure to tell them that I sent you. They'll treat you extra good. If you had any questions that I didn't answer in this video, just drop them down in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them for you. And if there are any other videos you'd like to see me make, or any other beauty trends you'd like to see me test, just let me know. I would love to create that content for you. And again, if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to like and subscribe, because I'm trying to be much more consistent with creating videos and putting them out there for you. I hope you're all staying healthy and well during this season. Thanks, guys. Bye.